It's live time. We're here.
Yes, we made it.
So let's do a little test. I want to make sure that y'all can hear us. You can see us. If somebody could put in the comments real quick, yay or nay. Can you hear us? Can you see us? Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know.
Are we on the right one?
Yeah. Let's see. We're in the chats. Let me check my phone to make sure here that the chat thing's working right. Sleep of Faith RV says yes. All right. Coming in. All right. Good. Hello, hello. There they are. Now they're starting to come in. I think we're a little bit delayed here. All right.
But we are a little slow sometimes.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome to our second live that we've ever done. I appreciate y'all showing up. This is great. I see a lot of folks coming online, so that's awesome. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. We're going to talk about basically our second year on the road. We got a few things I want to talk about, and then we'll open it up for a Q&A from you guys. Mm-hmm. So, got my Monster. Sugar-free Monster, of course. So, all right. Should we get this thing started?
Yeah, let's get started.
All right. So, let's start out with some stats. Everybody loves stats, right?
Definitely.
Good stats.
I like
stats. All right. So for the last year, our second year on the road. So our year starts May 24th. That's when we picked up our RV, our new RV, the Momentum. On May 24th of 2021. That's when we picked it up and started the full-time RV adventure. Mm-hmm. So in the last year, since last May, we've visited 8 states. Mm-hmm. We have moved 41 times, whether it be to an RV park, whether it's a Harvest Host or boondocking or whatever it was. 41 times we hooked up and moved to a different spot.
Right.
Couple things that big ticket items that we did this year is we attended the Quartzsite RV show, which was pretty fun. And then we also attended the Quartzsite RV Grand Design Rally.
Which was our first one
Which was our first Grand Design Rally, and that was a blast too.
That was a blast.
We went to 13 different national parks, national monuments, national historic sites,
or landmarks.
Anything with the word national in front of them.
Yep.
We visited 13 different ones of those. So that was pretty good. Our first year on the road was all about friends and family. Mm-hmm. And our second year on the road was more of national parks, visiting national parks and stuff. So
exploring.
Ken's here now. We can start.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Ken.
All right. So that's the stats.
Yes.
And then just a couple updates from our last live. We talked about our 2023 travel plans and what we were planning on doing. So number one, we did get our Switch It Up Huddle tickets for the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and that'll be in August.
Yes.
We do have our tickets, so we will be there, and that'll be near Mackinac Island. So we're looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. That'll be fun. We did get our Grand Design RV National Rally tickets.
Yes.
So we will be at that rally, and that'll be right after the huddle, basically. And then we also got reservations for the Hershey RV show. We're actually going to stay at the Hershey Thousand Trails there, but we do have reservations, so we secured that. So we will 100% be at the Hershey RV show unless something crazy happens.
Yeah.
We're thinking about maybe trying to do a meetup at the Hershey RV show. I'm not sure how many people that follow us are going to be out there, but we'll see on that. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah, and if you're going to be there, let us know. We'll probably do a poll just to see as we get closer, but
right.
We could set something up.
Maybe we could do some cocktails and campfire or something like that.
Yep.
Hopefully no 70-mile-an-hour winds like it was at Quartzsite when we had to cancel our last one.
If we can't do it at the RV park because people won't be there, then we'll maybe do like a restaurant or something, or we'll figure it out.
A winery.
Yeah.
Or a brewery.
We'll figure it out. But right now we want to do it. We just don't know how many of y'all will come and see us. So it could just be the two of us.
Could be. Hey. All right. So we're going to talk about a couple different things about our last year of travel. Our favorite areas where we went, our least favorite area, our favorite RV park that we stayed at, and our least favorite RV park that we stayed at. And then we've got a whole bunch of questions from
you guys,
including Laura, who messaged us. She's an old friend of mine. We were stationed together back in the 90s.
way back
when. But she is kicking around, maybe going full-time RVing. So she had a whole slew of questions for us that we'll go through.
Someone said, when is the Hershey show?
Oh, the Hershey show is in September. I don't remember the exact dates, but it's right around Labor Day weekend, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So, and it's supposed to be the biggest RV show. I've been told it's even bigger than Tampa, which is going to be hard to beat because Tampa was awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
But maybe size-wise it's bigger, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll let you know.
We're looking forward to it.
We'll video it and bring it all to you guys. So.
Yep.
All right, so let's start off with let's just get the bad out of the way. What was your least favorite area that we visited this last year?
All right, so I'm not trying to, offend the area, offend anybody, but I am not a big fan of Quartzsite. I feel like it's like we've been there, done that, kind of got the t-shirt. So
yeah,
not a place that I probably would go back to unless it was to we're just meeting up with people there or something significant happen. But I just didn't really care for it.
Yeah,
dry, windy.
The weather definitely didn't help. We boondocked there twice this winter, once for 2 weeks and once for about a week for the rally, and both times 50-mile-an-hour winds, rain, cold, just absolute garbage. The whole Quartzsite experience, I think, as a full-time RV, you should at least do it one time because it is pretty neat.
It is,
because you get a whole bunch of people, everybody's boondocking, and of course you got the magic circle out there in Quartzsite.
We didn't partake in that.
At least we don't have it on video.
I mean, we've been there three times.
Yeah, three different times in Quartzsite.
3 different times. So I just, that is what it is.
Yeah.
Not my least favorite.
Thanks, Linda. There's the dates. I just put them up on the screen. 13 to 17 September.
Yes.
So, stink bug season in Pennsylvania, just so you know.
Super excited about that.
All right, so I'm gonna have to agree with Quartzsite only because we love to boondock.
We do.
We love the people at Quartzsite; they were great.
Oh yeah.
And the town of Quartzsite is really cool, but you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and
I think just the weather
just really put a damper on it for us. Yeah, it was just terrible. And of course, everybody in Arizona, we've never had a winter like this before. Thanks.
Heard that 1,000 times.
Glad we picked this one.
And I think we were in Arizona for so long.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just we were ready to move on.
Yep.
We were there too long.
Yeah, we were. Yep. All right. So least or favorite or worst RV park out of all the ones that we stayed at.
Man, we went through them, and my least favorite was Foothills in Yuma. It was small. It was right off the highway. And the pool was 100 degrees and it was hot outside. So you couldn't even get in it to cool off. I just wasn't a big fan of that one.
Yeah, it wasn't great. So Foothills and Cactus Gardens are the two Encore parks in Yuma that flip to Thousand Trails in the wintertime. So you can book it for whatever your Thousand Trails package is, whether it's 3 weeks or whatever. You can go park to park between those two parks. They don't treat them as Encore parks.
Right.
And so we stayed at both Cactus Gardens and Foothills. And Foothills was okay. It wasn't nothing great. But the pool, it was 98 degrees. It was
it's already hot outside, and you try to get in the pool to cool off, and it was
hot. Crazy.
It's like a hot tub. And the other bad thing is there's a bar, which was great. You could walk to it and it had music and everything, but everybody parks in that parking lot. There's an area
in the RVs parking lot.
In the RVs park, and over in the campground, and they park there and walk over. So I kind of didn't really like that, and I don't know. There was some sketchy things that I thought happened, okay. But my least favorite,
and this is probably gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way because I know a lot of people love this park, but I just did not like this park at all. And that was Palm Springs. That park, when you're towing a 44-foot fifth wheel through that park, it is frustrating because there are 700 palm trees in that park, and every single one of them is on a friggin' corner, whether it's a corner of a road or a corner of a site.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. And it was, I guess when we first got there in September, we stayed there twice this last year. The first time we stayed there was right after they opened. So this park actually closes in the summer because it gets so hot in Palm Springs, California. So when we got there in September, like a week after they opened, it was like 110 degrees every day. So it's super hot. I don't know, maybe we did go back and it was cooler, and I don't know, it's just something about that area. It's right off I-10. And it's just, I don't know, there's the vibe to that area is, I don't know, I just didn't like it.
I liked it, but I liked the area. They had, the amenities were great. The staff there was great. But it's right off the interstate, and it's kind of like the same thing like most parks, a lot of theft and
a lot of bikes were stolen there too.
Yeah,
they were always sending stuff out. Make sure you lock your stuff out.
But I feel like that's just kind of the way life is, unfortunately, nowadays.
Runaway Ronaldies, hey guys. Leap of Faith RV is here. So Leap of Faith RV, you guys are going to see a video coming up with them soon. They're full-time RVers, and they got a whole unique way of RVing, one that you've never seen. Yeah. So stay tuned for a video on that here in the near future. And then, hey, BDR's here. What's up? Weekend Warriors. Hey, guys. And then you got Ken here. You got Happy Campbell here. Eric. Man, we got a bunch of people. So Laura's here. Hey, Laura.
Thanks, everybody.
And then En Route to Adventure. You're like my husband. He doesn't like Palm Springs, but I like it. Yeah. I agree with your husband. I'm not a fan. I like Wilderness better, which is right down the road. Idlewild would have been nice to get to, but we ain't fitting in Idlewild.
Yeah, we did a video on that when we went up. We took the Jeep up just exploring, and there's no way we were going to fit into that place. So
it was just too, and it wasn't really the sites were too small. It was because it was just so hilly and curvy, and
the sites were too small.
Yeah. If you watched our last video about all the damage we did, we didn't want to do that again with all the angles and curves of that park. So, all right. So let's talk about our most favorite area. There's some combat vets, folks. So right now we're at Colorado Springs. We're at the Air Force Academy. We're here for the Combat Vets Motorcycle Association National Rally / meeting, which starts tomorrow. So there's a bunch of us here at this campground. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So shout out to all our CVMA brothers and sisters.
Yep.
All right. So what was your favorite RV park in our last year of travel?
So there was a lot of great ones, but my favorite one was Voyager, which it's Encore Park, right?
Yep.
And that is in Tucson area, but that park, man,
Voyager,
was amazing.
Voyager is not your. If you've been to Voyager, let us know in the comments,
right?
Because it's not a typical RV park. It has a restaurant. It has a bar.
It's a resort.
It's a resort. Well, a lot of these RV parks claim to be RV resorts, and then you get to the RV park and you're like, "Where's the resort part?" This one's actually a resort.
Yes, this is one that we actually thought we kind of bookmarked in our brain. If we ever decide to winter somewhere, getting a lot, getting a, I don't know what the term is.
Either a lot or a park model
or even a park
something
model,
like that. That'd be right up there.
Lots to do. I mean, you didn't even have to leave it. Like you said, got a restaurant, they got a market, they had a barber shop, wood shop, auto shop.
Don't even have to leave the park, really.
Yep, 3 big pools.
Pickleball course. Their own golf course.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was just, it was beautiful. We really liked it. However, it is 55 and up only, and they're very, very strict on that.
Yeah, so we had to beg to get into that one. And wait a minute, we're 55.
Yeah, I'm
55.
He's 55.
Yeah,
or 5 mentally.
See what I got to put up with?
He acts 5 sometimes, but yes.
Hey, Debbie and Neil are here. Hey, guys.
Hey.
All right, so I'm gonna agree with her on the best RV park that we stayed at was Voyager. Sorry. I know. Hold my hand.
I'm gonna have to hold his hand down, or I'm gonna get smacked in the face here.
What was your favorite area? Like area of the we were basically on the west side of the Mississippi this whole last year.
Right.
But what was your favorite area?
My favorite area right now is this Colorado area. I mean, when we were in Gunnison, again, we were like looking at property up at Crested Butte, which that quickly got its nade because we can't afford anything. But we love it. I love the mountains, and it reminds me of Alaska. Plus, I'm from Maine, and it's got like that vibe to it.
It's beautiful. We got the next couple of videos, probably in the next 2 weeks, we'll have some of the Crested Butte footage. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you've ever been up there, you know, and if you haven't, and then I would definitely check it out. But we were like, man, this is an area where we could just buy like a 1 acre lot and spend the summer, you know, park large Marge on that.
Yep.
And then we went and looked at the prices for 1 acre lots in that area, and you're talking over $1 million.
It's crazy.
So we better get those donations in. I don't see any yet.
I don't. But I mean, since we've been in Colorado, I've loved it. So this to me has been like my favorite area. Plus, it's not hot, so I really like that.
Yeah. This Colorado is a beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Did y'all see the bear from this week's video? We saw the big old bear. We saw some moose.
We've seen a ton of wildlife.
Pretty cool.
I love it.
Pretty cool. All right, my favorite area. I mean, Colorado's up there, but I think within the last year, I really love the Pacific Northwest, meaning like the Oregon and Washington beaches, and the big redwoods and the giant sequoia trees. And man, I don't know. I just felt at home in that area.
I mean, they're so close. We talked about it, like which one did we like better, and so we both like them. Yeah.
We loved it. Yep. So, we're definitely gonna go back to that area for sure. Do some more exploring. We're gonna spend next winter in Florida and probably the winter after that in Florida because we're gonna stay on the East Coast for a couple of years, and then probably after that we'll hit up the Northwest again.
And I would love to just spend that whole time on the Oregon coast. I could easily do that. Just
and Washington. There's a whole bunch of 1,000 trails in Washington we didn't even touch yet. So, all right. So let's get to Laura's questions. I don't know if she's on. I don't see her on, but maybe she is. Laura, are you on? Let us know. If not, she can watch this after.
Yep.
All right. So she had a whole bunch of questions. And
and other people have sent in questions.
Yeah. So we just kind of compiled them all together. And like I said earlier, she's contemplating going full-time RV. So she's just kind of kicking the tires and asking some questions related to that. And her first one was, what would we do different than we did? What would we do different now that we have full-time than we did when we were prepping to full-time? And
want me to take the first
one? The big one is
the biggest one is now that we're living in the RV is I would have switched to I still love the Momentum, but we would have went with the 376 with the bedroom and the garage to have more living space.
Yeah, so we got the 397, which we love.
We do love
it. We were all about the patio. We wanted the patio. And then we got the patio, and we never used the patio.
I think we sat on it a total of maybe 10 times.
We just rarely use it.
We sit outside on the ground.
Yeah, we're usually sitting outside or
we use it for the dogs, but I mean,
but it would be nice to have that extra living space living in the RV. The 376, I've always said would be the perfect rig if it had a side patio on it. But even without the side patio, it's got the big, huge front living room. And then, of course, the garage for the Harley.
We like to entertain and play cards. People who, have met us on the road, they know that. So it would be nice to have a place to like sit inside.
Yeah, if the weather sucks.
When the weather sucks, which... Yeah. A lot of whole time in Arizona, it seemed like stuff to like be able to do that. But so that was
and then the other thing we would have changed is no slide toppers. No. I would never get slide toppers again. How many of y'all got slide toppers? Those things are terrible. Because I'm worried about them all the time with the winds. Like I would rather just go up on travel day with my leaf blower and blow all the stuff off the slides like we have with our other 6 RVs that we had.
Yeah.
And it takes 2 minutes and then be done. But every time the wind is really kicking, those things are sounds like a freaking helicopter going off. And then this winter in Arizona, since it was so windy, it tore 2 of our slide toppers. So I've been having to do some redneck repairs on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wouldn't do slide toppers
Yeah.
again.
Oh, Home on the Hitch. Hi, guys.
Hey guys, Home on the Hitch on their way to Alaska right now.
So is Wolf's off leash?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Man, everybody's going up to
I
Alaska.
know. Except for us.
Yeah, BDR says we decided to get slide toppers because of the wind. We have a leaf blower. Yep, that's the way to do it.
So
right there.
When we were in Quartzsite,
With BDR.
With BDR, there was like some serious wind, and we
Oh,
brought
my
the
God.
slides in. But still, you can bring them in, but then you kind of lose space, especially in the fifth wheel, because you can't even get to like the garage or half of it. But it's definitely one thing.
We won't get those again.
Never again.
And then the other thing we'd probably change is as most of you know, our e-bikes were stolen in Las Vegas when we were there about 2 years ago, I guess. And so we would be more security conscious starting out.
Right.
More security cameras, not leaving the e-bikes outside, just being a little bit more security conscious, even though we had the e-bikes locked up and covered. Obviously, it didn't matter. They still stole them. And we knew on the reviews that stuff would happen, and we thought we were still doing it correctly. But, we just a bit more, a little more security conscious, instead of being a little bit less nonchalant and just kind of, it ain't going to happen to us. Well, it did. It did, yeah. And then we probably would have got Starlink sooner than what we did.
Yes.
When we first started RVing, Starlink was kind of new. It wasn't really, they didn't have the whole portability thing up and running yet. So we didn't get it. And then once they added all that, we waited months before we finally got it. And we wish we would have got it.
No, I mean, we use it because we stream all of our TV.
Yeah.
Like we don't have like the satellite or, we can get over the antenna channel. Sometimes there's spots that we can't, but it's one thing, so that might not be a priority for somebody else, but we needed one for YouTube, and we do a lot of streaming. We're huge NFL fans. So football,
college football too,
and all that when that comes around. So, for us, it's kind of been more of a priority. Yeah,
Eric says we have slide toppers. They can be a pain, but I'd rather have them than not have them. Although we haven't had one torn or damaged yet. Yeah. They have their advantages and disadvantages. I guess since this is our 7th RV and we've never had them until now, it was just easier and less worrisome not to worry about them dang things and just blow off the slides.
I mean, you got to get up to take the Starlink down anyway. So.
Yeah, I'm already on the roof anyway, so whatever. Okay. Oh, let's see. And then she also asked, what did we buy in preparation to full-time RV that we realized that we didn't even need? We bought the fifth wheel stand.
Yeah.
The stands that go up underneath the hitch on the fifth wheels. Mm-hmm. We had it because I'd never had one before. And I'm like, we had fifth wheels before, but we never had the stand. Mm-hmm. So we thought, we'll get the stand. Well, we've never had a 6-point leveling system. So it's basically worthless because the leveling system keeps it pretty level. I've tested it with the stand, without the stand, no difference at all. So we got rid of the stand. Mm-hmm. We also, when we first started back to internet, before Starlink, we got what was called travel data.
Right.
And I don't mean to talk bad about a company, but they are garbage.
Their customer service.
Oh my God, horrible customer service. Yeah. The little router that they send us would constantly go in and out, and no. We have since got T-Mobile home internet as our backup internet, and that's been working pretty good. Mm-hmm. In fact, it's really fast here.
That's actually what we're using here right now for streaming and everything, and then
Yeah. So and then the other thing is before we started full-timing, I had bought like the PepWave router, that whole expensive setup, and we have never even used it, never even installed it. I need to sell it. If anybody needs a PepWave router, let me know. I'll sell it to you at a good price. It's still brand new in the box.
It's up in our little storage area right now.
Because then we ended up getting Starlink. So yeah,
I use T-Mobile too.
Ken says he uses T-Mobile. Yeah, I think a lot of RVers are now using T-Mobile home internet. The only problem is it's like some places it just doesn't work at all.
Oh yeah, the last couple places.
Blue Mesa, Thousand Trails is a perfect example. No cell service works there. No T-Mobile, no AT&T, no Verizon, nothing. The only thing that worked was Starlink.
speaking of shopping, we were at that park and we walked around, and then one day we walked and we counted 27 dishes. So I mean, it's very popular now amongst like people. I don't know if everybody was full timing, but in the RV community. So
it's a lot more popular.
So Elon Musk just needs to keep shooting.
That's why he keeps raising the rates, I guess.
I guess.
BDR says they have T-Mobile too. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yep. Cool. And then things that we didn't buy before full-time RVing, but ended up buying once we realized, wow, we really need this.
Mm-hmm. And this is all what we need, not what everybody needs, but obviously the Jeep.
Yeah.
I needed the Jeep. Needed. I'm more of a want, but we do use it. It's our everyday vehicle.
Yeah, we love it. Love that Jeep.
Because the truck stays put.
Yeah.
Once we get
some travel days.
Except for travel days. So
ice maker.
Oh.
We bought an ice maker from Home Depot. It's a little portable desktop ice maker. We use that thing every single day.
Okay.
So that was probably one of the things that we always use.
It's not on the list. I just have the Berkey.
Oh, the water Berkey. I don't know if you can see it
It's back there.
Boop, right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jason always called me a water snob because we only drank bottled water and everything. And then after we got the Berkey, now he's on board.
Yeah.
Jeep life, yes.
Home on the Hitch says no signal, no good. Yeah.
And then expensive, yeah. The Jeep, it was definitely one of those expensive purchases. But the ice maker was a cheap one.
Yeah, and then of course Starlink, we already talked about that. That was what we added. And then she wants to know about traveling with pets. Does she recommend traveling with pets?
Want me to take this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
He's got his own opinion right now. So traveling with pets. If you have pets, which we had before we started full timing, I'm not going to get rid of them because I decided to change, or we decided to change our lifestyle and go on the road. However, once all of our pets have passed, there will be no more pets because there'll be freedom, like going on a cruise, going out all day, taking a train somewhere, spending the night somewhere.
Just whatever, doing an overnight trip somewhere. Yeah.
When we just don't have that luxury.
Or just being out all day. If we want to go out in the morning and not be back until the evening doing whatever, then we can't do that because we get the dogs. So. But speaking of cruises, though.
So that is one thing coming up next year. We're going to take a cruise for our 25th anniversary. And so, speaking of dogs, that's all the things. I'm in charge of making sure the dogs are taken care of, and he's in charge of making sure that the RV gets
put in storage
or whatever we choose to do. So.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. It'll be our first cruise. We're going out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in April to the Bahamas.
Yes, if anyone's gone on a cruise out of there, and they know of a place to store the RV or board pets or anything like that, please let us know. Right. Yep. Because we'd really appreciate it. Because I can do Google, but sometimes I like those real experiences.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. And then, okay. So she wants to know, what would we recommend for starting out when you first start deciding, okay, I'm going to go full time. I'm going to start the full time RV life. Our number one recommendation is almost always the same thing. And that's downsize early.
Yes.
And downsize in segments. Don't try to downsize everything at one shot. We had the luxury of plenty of time to prep. We made our decision. We were going to full-time RV, and we had 3 years to prep. Mm-hmm. So we came up with a plan, and I had a plan of what we were going to sell for each year, get rid of, that kind of stuff. But even if you only have, let's say, 5-6 months to plan, downsize like once a month, go donate, sell, whatever.
Just go through your closets, go through, whatever. We still do that now. And
we've been donating stuff.
There's things that I'm like, I haven't used this. A lot of kitchen stuff I brought, but I've donated it because we don't use it. If it's not something I've used within the last 6 months, it's gone.
Yeah. Runaway Renalities will be storing on a rig at Tyndall when we cruise out of Miami. Okay. Is Tyndall? Okay. I thought Tyndall was on the west side of Florida. Is it on the east side of Florida?
I don't know.
Must be on the east side.
Yeah.
I don't know. Geography. All right, and then the other thing we always recommend for those of you that are thinking about
Mhm.
full-time RVing is research, and
Mm.
research.
Yes.
Do your research. Watch our videos. Watch everybody else's videos
Mhm.
because that's probably your number one source of information.
That's what we did.
That's what we did. We watched everybody's videos
Mm.
until we started our own channel. But then also, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I was going to talk about if you're going to buy an RV. Let's say you're going to buy a brand new RV prior to going full time. Call around. Don't just rely on your local
Mhm.
dealers wherever you live. We were in Alaska planning our full time. Already had an RV, but we knew
Mhm.
we weren't going to live in our Raptor. We were going to buy the Momentum. So I probably called 30 different dealers around the US,
We did.
different states, until I got the deal I wanted in Ohio. Because I didn't mind driving somewhere to save a few $1,000s.
No
So
doubt.
just don't rely on your local dealer.
Mhm.
You can use them against each other too. You know, be like, hey, I live in Louisiana, but I call the dealer in Texas, and they're going to give me this deal. You guys
Right.
want to match it?
And another thing, if you've never RV'd before, look at trying to rent one to even see if you're gonna like it, because it is definitely different than living in a house. Like, especially full timing, like you're in a much smaller space and just little things, and you know, dealing with the tanks and stuff. A lot of people just think, oh, I can go and drive, but there's a lot of things that go into to RVing in general. You know, you
Yeah.
gotta water and your poop and
Not mine.
stuff like that. If you're traveling with pets, see if they like it, because some pets don't like all that traveling and
Right.
stuff on the road. So
yeah, go Nuggets. And Raptor Adventure says
Yeah,
go Nuggets.
definitely,
We're in
yeah.
Nugget land right now for sure.
Yeah.
It's like we watch the local news and that's all they talk about is the Nuggets, which is great because they've never won a championship.
Right.
So we're rooting for them too.
I was a Celtics fan. Well, I am a Celtics fan. Of course, we lost, and so now I'm definitely rooting for the Nuggets.
Yeah, Miami's got championships.
Yeah,
Let's get somebody new in there.
Yep.
Boondocking with the Boyers. Hey guys, welcome.
En route to adventure. Hi guys.
Yeah. All right, and then okay, so Laura is a single female, and her question was, do we recommend that is it okay, I guess, to go full time as a single female, or
just single in general,
or single in
person.
general, or is it better with a buddy? And I got to tell you that after 2 years on the road, most of the single people that we've seen full time RVing are female.
Are females, yes.
I can't even recall one time seeing, less single male.
Yes, it's true.
There's a couple, but most of them are females.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly safe.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you're going to do is you're going to make a lot of friends at each RV park that you're at. That's just the way it works. I think almost every RV park we get to, we end up befriending some other couple, and we end up playing cards
here,
and
we've already
cocktails and
or
that kind of stuff.
Going hiking.
In fact, some of y'all are on here right now.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I can see some names. Boondocking with the Boyers.
Hey, Amy, she made it.
Yeah. So I think I would recommend. I mean, if I was single,
go for it.
I would.
What do you mean? You're not going to be single though.
I'm not going to be single until you leave me.
You mean like,
you know? Yeah, right.
He knows
what I mean.
I know.
It's only 6 feet under.
This is why I don't go near cliffs when we're hiking together. She'd be like,
"You do go near cliffs. I'm the one that doesn't."
That's what they just see on camera.
No, yeah. But
all right, and that pretty much takes care of all the questions and stuff from folks that have brought us in. So
35 minutes.
Now we can open it up to y'all. What kind of questions or comments do you have that you would like us to discuss over our last year of travel or anything really? We can talk about just about anything and everything. So let's see. Let's go through some comments here.
Start at the top.
All right, so we talked about the Hershey show.
Yeah, so are any of you going to be at the Hershey show?
Yeah. all the way in
Can't beat the
Pennsylvania.
Oregon coast. Oh, Leap of Faith. Yeah, I agree. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, we loved it there. Hey, Home on the Hitch, are you guys still on? I wanted to see if where are you at in your Alaska trip. And then Debbie and Neil on Wolf's Off Leash. Where are you guys? Are you guys actually in Alaska now, or are you still on the way in the land of Canadians?
I see your post. Obviously, he doesn't. So
yeah.
Travel with the dog. Yeah, traveling with dog. I love all my pets, but let me tell you, it's not just traveling with them. It's like finding a vet when something happens and
pet meds,
getting stuff delivered and
stuff like that. Yeah.
And it always happens that we have to go to the vet when we're in the middle of nowhere. Never fails. Murphy's Law.
All right, so let's see. We'll get some questions now. So, en route to adventure. So, you plan to do some boondocking in Colorado? We're actually not doing any boondocking in Colorado, unfortunately, but we found some really good boondocking spots while we were at Blue Mesa. Because after the rally here, where we're at right now for the combat vets, we're heading to South Dakota.
We're boondocking.
We're gonna boondock there. We're gonna hit up a Harvest Host in Wyoming on the way there. But basically, we're just beat feet into South Dakota to go see Mount Rushmore and all the stuff and things around that area. So we're gonna be boondocking there at actually a Corps of Engineer park that has no hookups, and then we're gonna boondock on the Badlands.
So the Runaway Romaldi's all right. Well, we'll be planning that.
What's that? I want to come to Alaska with you. Yeah, we still want to do a caravan up to Alaska.
We do.
We're thinking maybe 2026.
2025.
What is this? 23?
Maybe 25.
Maybe 25. Yeah.
I don't even know what year it is half the time. That's pretty bad.
Hopefully fuel prices come down some, because last time I checked, and maybe Debbie and Neil can confirm this, but diesel fuel in Canada was like $8 a gallon or something like that. So,
and Runaway Romaldi's, there's always we could always do a cruise together.
Yeah, you guys are all about the cruises.
You got us on the cruise.
All right, so Amy says she was late because she was having grandbaby time.
Oh, enjoy.
You're hitting the road again tomorrow morning. All right, well, safe travels. And wow, you're finally hitting the road. You've been in Florida for a while too, right? But BDR wants to know, would we do the Grand Design Quartzsite rally again? Absolutely. We still had a blast there, even though the weather.
We would have to discuss it.
I would go. I guess this goes back to, would we full-time single or not?
I know. I guess I would. And actually, we want to do a few other Grand Design rallies in some other places. We've been kind of looking. Yeah. But this year, we're already booked out so far. So when we start planning into next year,
we're going to try to hit up some of the Grand Design, like state rallies or section rallies, whatever they call them, on the East Coast next summer. Not this coming summer, but next summer.
Right,
so. We're staying at the same COE park you are coming to. Oh, really?
Oh, sweet.
I forget the name of it. I'm glad. I don't even remember which one we're staying at. Cool. Is it nice there? It looks nice. I know we got a waterfront site, so we're pretty excited about it.
Online vets are wonderful. Oh, thank you.
8 months in Florida. Ooh, I could do 8 months in Florida.
I could.
We're looking forward to going back to Florida. In fact, we've already got TTO and Peace River booked for December, because on our 1,000 Trails package, we bought a used package, and it has 3 different features that are no longer offered, I don't think, but it's Alliance and VIP and Elite. It's got 3 of them that have been upgraded over time. And our Alliance feature allows us to book 210 days out for the core Thorvent 1,000 Trails parks.
Right.
So we're already booking December and January.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to try to stay in the Keys the whole month of February at the Navy base at Key West.
And then we'll go back between
TTO
and TTO until our cruise. But there's some Encore parks out there in Fort Lauderdale. And I want to go to Miami.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Maybe we'll go back to Everglades.
Oh, that'd be nice. So we plan to spend a lot of time there. And then once, it gets too hot and steamy, then head north.
Amy wants to know, have you ever been to a rally? They are wonderful. Yeah, actually, we were just talking about that. We went to the Grand Design Quartzsite rally, and then we have tickets to the Grand Design National Rally.
Yes.
So we will be there. We're going to be there with Harold and Cindy from One Strange Adventure, and hopefully Todd and Sheila from Switch It Up. I'm not sure about them yet.
We're going with like a whole.
Yeah, there's a group of us that are all going in together, and we're all in the same section, so it should be fun.
We're looking forward to that.
Yeah. So, all right. Any other questions? Anybody have anything else? Otherwise, we can.
Let everyone get to their Sunday evening.
Yeah, it's Sunday evening.
The game's on.
Right, the Nuggets are on right now.
I'm gonna look at my phone right now just to see
what score.
End of the first, it shows. I don't have my glasses on, so that's bad.
It looked like Miami might be ahead.
Stupid Miami.
Miami. Oh, no, the Nuggets are ahead 33-29.
All right,
it's probably a little bit delayed, though. But
yeah.
Yeah, so.
Hope we're not ruining it for anybody.
Oh, the Leap of Faith RV wants to know if we've ever been to the Balloon Festival. No, we want to go. So we were sitting waiting for the tickets to open up, right? This was not this last year, but the year before. I don't remember. Anyway, they sold out in like 90 seconds or something crazy like that. Like we were like refresh, and we couldn't even get tickets. We tried. So I think that maybe we will, if we can't get tickets next time we're out on the West Coast, maybe we'll just camp outside the fairgrounds and then maybe just go visit the Balloon Festival. So
yeah, that's probably what we'll end up doing is just camping near there. There's a military installation there that maybe we can try to get on or something, and then just go and enjoy the festivities, but actually stay there. So.
And Route to Adventure says, enjoy your videos. Oh, thanks, guys.
I wanted to get your channel going strong.
Oh, let's see. We started YouTube in December of 21, and it took a good year to get 1,000 subscribers.
I feel like it really kind of shot off like within the last few months, honestly.
Yeah, it kind of just, once it grows, it starts growing more and more. Like the more you get, the more you get. And what we've learned is the more shorts you do, and a lot of people don't like shorts, but that's how you get subscribers is through shorts. Shorts seem to get a lot of subs, where your long-term videos is where you get like your loyal followers.
Right.
So thank you to all you loyal followers.
Yes, DOD announced opening up military campgrounds to other veterans. Amy said, yeah, actually here
really?
At the Air Force Academy, you just have to have you don't have to be retired. It says you just have to have your veteran ID, like your medical veteran ID or something along those lines.
I did not know that. Thanks, Amy.
Yeah, so
I can tell you though, we've been staying in military fan camps for years, even when we were active duty, and we had we would stay at them if we were like PCSN or out of a base or whatever. And they used to be so much cheaper. They're not cheap anymore. Here at the academy we're at, I mean, it's still cheaper than off base, I guess. It's what, $45 a night?
It was it ended up being $47 a night, I think.
And it used to be $15-20 a night. But it is full hookups. It is 50 amp. So, and it's a nice park. It really is.
We're staying at Fort Meade too, and that's $55
it was like 60 something a night.
That's
so,
even
so they're not as cheap as they used to be, but I guess if you compare them to off installation RV parks, then they're probably still cheaper. But there's always just a different feeling when you're staying on base. It just feels more secure, I guess, kind of more homey for us.
For us, it does.
We spend so much time in the military. So.
It's a different type of feel.
Yeah. So Leap of Faith RV asks, are reels the same as shorts? In a sense, yes. But reels are done on Instagram and Facebook. And shorts are done on YouTube. And then TikTok is just its own little, I don't even know what they call them, just videos. They don't have like long form videos on TikTok to my knowledge. But most of when I create a short or a reel, I'll use the same video for both. You just want to make sure that you film in portrait mode when you're doing your reels and shorts. And then when you're doing long form video, YouTube, it's landscape. So that's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Especially when you're always used to video in one way, and then you gotta remember flipping it around. So
yeah, we didn't do the YouTube thing at first. I kind of wanted him to do it, and then
Yeah, we weren't sure if we wanted to dive into the U2 world, and
We're
then
gonna wait, and then we just kind of picked it up. And
yeah, and then I tell you, I talked to one guy, and he's the one that changed my mind, and that was Jason from our Not So Perfect Life. Are you guys familiar with from those awesome peeps, Jason and Delynn?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we met up with them at the Switch It Up huddle in Georgia. In fact, it was Todd and Sheila's very first huddle that they ever did. We were all there together. And so him and I were talking down. I was just like, the YouTube full-time RV market is so saturated. There's just so many of us. And how are we going to be any different? And he pretty much just talked me into doing it. And I'm so glad he did. In fact, I talked to him a few months after that and on the phone. And I was like, man, thanks for pushing me in the right direction. So we're glad we did it because it's not really, we don't really do it to get the views and the subs and all that. That's fine and dandy, but
like my parents love to watch our videos. Yeah. They always know what's going on with, especially since they're traveling so much.
Right. And you guys have heard me say this before, probably, that how cool would it be to watch your grandparents' YouTube videos from like the 40s and 30s and 50s or your great grandparents' YouTube videos? Like, we want to just leave that archive for our family, our great grandkids to watch someday. And that's the fun part. Yeah. Who knows if they'll actually watch it or not.
And when I started, I hated being on camera. I was like, I've always had like...
Isn't she doing much better? I mean, come on, guys. Give it up for her.
I mean, even in the military, like, I was an instructor, but I knew the material and I loved teaching it. But like, just public speaking, I had that fear. And so now I feel like I've come a long way.
You sure have.
And, I don't always worry about making sure my hair is done or having makeup on day-to-day stuff. I just, because that's not me every day.
Right. Like, try to bring it real.
Yep. But not first thing in the morning. Jason said to not put the camera on me first thing in the morning. Well, I'm not a morning person. And
I learned not to do that real quick. They're like, wow. En route to adventure says Switch It Up crew is having a get together in Granby, Colorado. The area is a great place to boondock, lots of wildlife and great Jeep trails. Yes, we know that, and we wanted to go to it. We just couldn't get our plans to work out, so that's why we're going to go to the one in.
Well, this is
Is it not a huddle? Is it just one of their camp out thingies?
Yeah, that's a get together. They're huddles.
Oh, okay.
At the end of this month,
but it's here in Colorado, right?
It is the 22nd, I think.
Yeah. Amy says, I met you guys at the Switch It Up Meat and Winery in Tampa. Yes, that was so fun. I remember that. That was a blast. Winery. Yeah, we were working like the merch booth for Todd and Sheila, and man, the drinks were flowing that night.
Yeah, they were.
It was fun.
Excellent wine there, I have to say. Yeah. Wine's my weakness. So. Yes.
Oh, there's Laura. She says she hides from cameras.
Yeah, I used to do that. Can't really do it much anymore.
Laura, did you hear us answer all of your questions? Hopefully you were on. I wasn't sure if you were on or not, but hopefully we answered them to your satisfaction.
Thanks for helping us, newbies. Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, yeah, of course. Absolutely. All right. All right. Anything else? Any other questions, comments, bitches, gripes, complaints? Sound like I'm back in the military. I used to ask my people that all the time.
Don't be cursing. This is a family channel.
I was talking about dogs. All right, guys. Well, I think we are going to go ahead and close this out. We sure appreciate you all getting on here and talking to us. Laura says, yep, I probably have more. All right, well, hit us up.
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll answer. We just figured doing the live would be the best way to answer the questions instead of trying to do a whole video on it. But because it's kind of a moving target. If you the way we answered it today, we may answer it differently in a couple months, depending on the situation and what's going on. So, all right, guys, we'll probably do another live, and we like to every other month, maybe. The last one we did when it was March. It's May, so maybe when we're at the huddle, we'll do one.
Probably not at the huddle. We'll be too busy.
Or the rally. Grand Design Rally? I don't know. We'll figure out something. So.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So anyway, well, thanks guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. Oh, the Real Weekend Warriors. Hey, Sticks and Bricks. We will catch you. Oh, thanks, Amy. Appreciate it. We will catch the replay. All right, no problem. No problem.
Thank you.
See you at the Michigan Huddle.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see you there. Should
Yes.
be a blast.
When we're ready.
Cannot wait to explore Mackinac Island and stuff. So.
Yes, we hope to see you guys too. The Runway Ronaldo.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in Michigan. In fact,
guys...
I'm going to be leading the motorcycle ride for the Huddle to the Tower of Trees or something like that. So Runaway Ronaldo's just rode that road and it looks really beautiful. So can't wait for that. So anyway, until next time, guys. Safe travels.
Yay.